Hey guys, Alex here, and I just got this Korean movie, very hard to find, but I'm gonna unbox this and I'll give you my review on it after I watch it. Unless I can get it open really fast, which I kind of doubt. Hey guys, we just had a little movie night with this Korean movie called Deep Blue Night, and did you have any preconceived notions about what you were going to watch before we watched it?
I knew there were going to be cars in it.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason why I got this, because I was looking for a movie that featured the '84 Pontiac Trans Am, and apparently this movie is what features that car most prominently out of any other movie out there. And it's a Korean movie. It's a Korean movie filmed entirely in the United States, actually.
Yeah.
So anyways, this movie is based on a Korean book. Also the same name, Deep Blue Night. I don't know if that's backwards or not. It might be. But apparently, I was reading some reviews talking about the differences between the book and the movie. I won't talk about the book yet.
So say, don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it. What to say that the guy who wrote this book also helped out with the script for the movie. And so it was him who changed everything in his own story for whatever reason. But anyways, yeah, this movie was made in 1985. So not only is it a foreign film, it's also an 80s film. Did you get the 80s vibe from watching this?
Oh yeah, the blurry, smoky look and the music,
the hairstyles,
the shoulder pads. It's got it all.
It does got it all.
Smoking in the house while laying in bed.
Oh yeah, I know some people who still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never visit them though. But kind of interesting. I have never seen anyone on YouTube, at least in the English language, talk about this movie. Because when I was looking for information on this movie, all I found were people, writing it out on a website. But no one ever made a video vlogging what this movie was about. So I wanted to make my own little video with her. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this movie. So yeah, Deep Blue Night, I don't know how you say it in Korean. But it was about almost 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 50-something minutes when I looked at it.
Yeah, it was pretty long, but I think it went by pretty fast.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, we had to break it over the period of 2 nights, but I felt like I could have watched it in one sitting easily. But yeah, something interesting to note is, yeah, I already said that, but it takes place completely in the United States. I want to give you a quick recap on what the plot was about, and then we'll give you our opinions on the movie and talk about different aspects of it. But the basic plot is, there's this Korean guy, he wants to live in the United States.
Mr. Beck.
Mr. Beck. Mr. Beck wants to move to the United States and also bring his Korean wife over from Korea. That sounds pretty noble, but the way he goes about doing it is not so noble. What does he do?
Well, he marries an American citizen who's from Korea to get his green card to divorce her to bring his wife over, his pregnant wife over. Yes,
and he doesn't just divorce them. He beats them and takes all their money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
throws him off cliffs, Death Valley.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing.
I shouldn't be smiling about that.
It's funny when it's in a movie, right?
It's pretty funny watching her try to climb the mountain in heels, Death Valley. But...
Yeah. Hey, Jurassic World, she did it with heels too.
She did.
Outrun a freaking T-Rex or Indominus Rex.
She wasn't successful in this movie though.
Yeah. she needed lessons here. But yeah, this movie takes place entirely in California, and. So that's the setting of the movie, but it's all Korean, and that's the basic plot structure. He wants to bring his wife, but he is a scoundrel living in the U.S. When he gets his green card, that's when his true colors really come out. And what's to say that his past comes back to haunt him. Yeah, so let's talk about this movie. This movie is, as I said, it's Korean, and the subtitles were either in Japanese, Korean, Chinese, and English. Obviously, we watched the Japanese subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we watched it in English. What do you think about the subtitles?
They were not spot on at all.
It kind of reminded me of that game, Someone Set Us Up the Bomb. make your time. Ha 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 ha.
Yes. All your base belongs to us. That was reading this entire movie was like that.
Yeah, the worst part is there are a lot of scenes in in English, spoken by native English speakers, and the subtitles were completely off.
Like the one scene in the mailroom where the woman in English said hello, but the subtitle said how are you?
Uh-huh. Oh, what's that other one that you really liked?
Oh, my favorite part in the movie, hands down, was in the beginning in the bar where the English-speaking woman came up and said, I've got a deal for you, but the subtitle said, I've got a drug deal. I waited this entire movie for a drug deal that didn't happen. That was one of my best parts.
Well, and what was your other favorite quote?
My other favorite quote was when... Let's see, Mr. Beck, the
Korean
scumbag throughout the movie.
Dirtbag.
He was just completely horrible to the main woman, Jane, who he married. And she was sitting in the living room with a gun to her head. It was really depressing. And he comes running into the house. And she looks over at him. And according to the subtitle, she said, "What's up, Mr. Beck?"
Yeah, she's like... Oh, hey, what's up, Mr. Beck?
What's up, Mr. Beck?
What's up, man? What's up, dog? Yeah, that was bizarre.
I applauded when she said thank you in English and the subtitle said thank you.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite translations was when the guy was talking about divorcing her once he got his green card, and then he's gonna bring his wife over from Korea, and then Jane said, the immigration office is not so silly.
It's not so silly.
that was a translation. I don't know what the Korean language actually said, but that's what the subtitle was.
I feel like most of the movie was not what the English subtitle said, but...
I don't think so either.
Some of the sentences weren't sentences.
Yeah. So that's another good reason to watch this movie.
So good.
Yeah, not just because it's the 80s. Everyone loves the 80s. And not just because it's Korean, but also because of the freaking subtitles, which are freaking
so good,
amusing. There's so many memes that are waiting to be told from watching this movie in English.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with English subtitles.
Oh yeah.
So, watching this movie, it's basically a soap opera mixed in with a car road movie. And that's the reason why I watched it, because I knew there were cars in this. I don't know for how long. But my favorite car in the movie... Well, I had two favorites. My real favorite car in the movie appeared for like 5 seconds. It was a freaking Dodge Challenger, and it was in the junkyard scene.
Yeah.
You see it for like a split second being picked up by the crane and then dumped somewhere. That was it. And then my favorite iconic car from the movie was the 84 Pontiac Trans Am. It's the red one that you see a lot.
It's Jane's car.
Jane's car, and he ends up driving it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite car in the movie?
The one that was in the junkyard.
The Ford Mustang? The convertible?
The one that he drove like 30 feet and it stopped.
And he crashed the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, he did, actually. That was pretty funny.
That's when the immigration people came in their car.
Mm-hmm.
It actually said immigration on the door. And
immigration police.
Yeah, the immigration police.
In a San Francisco junkyard.
San Francisco junkyard. Now, there's a lot of cultural things in this movie, or it might just be because it was the 80s, but there was a lot of, I don't want to say racist, but...
I was going to say racist.
It kind of is racist. It's just the outlook that they had. I'm not saying Koreans had that outlook, but it is a Korean movie. And there was a lot of... I don't know. Should I even get into that?
I mean, they used not nice words to describe African Americans in this movie. We didn't hear them say it, but that's how it was spelled in the subtitles.
Yeah, it was pretty
we couldn't really understand what they were saying, but
yeah,
it was spelled out.
What they spelled out was today would not pass any movie censor. But that's one of those things where you watch now and you look at the time period and then it was a time.
It's what they did in those movies.
Yeah, so that had to that had to be said. So yeah, this was about a 2-hour movie. Did you like the movie?
Oh, and she had a daughter.
Oh, yeah, she did have a daughter.
She's on the cover.
Yeah, they showed the cover.
Which, really, she didn't... Is it going to focus? She
didn't
know. Really show up as much as I expected her to, with her being on the cover. Her daughter is African American, which is where some of those racial terms did come in. But she was super cute. Love that kid. And then she disappeared, and you never saw her again throughout the movie.
Yeah, Jane. This is, I don't know. I think Jane's the hero of the movie.
Jane's the hero.
Yeah, because it's definitely not that guy. That guy was a scumbag.
Yeah, she's not the most satisfying of heroes. I mean, I did catch myself a couple times throughout that movie yelling at her, asking for her to drive off the cliff. But in the end, she was the hero.
Yeah. Throughout the movie, you see her with a gun to her head. It's like, why didn't you just turn that gun on the guy and just shoot him right there? Like, she could have easily claimed self-defense or something.
Oh, yeah. In many of those scenes, it would have been self-defense, for sure. And she didn't do it. You know,
I guess we could call her, like, an anti-hero, because the thing she does isn't really morally sound either.
No.
Like, she makes money off of, getting guys who need a green card, and she marries them. So that's how she makes a lot of money, because they pay her a lot of money so they can get their green cards.
Yeah.
And she's happy to oblige them. But typically that contract doesn't relate to bed. So when that guy wants to take her to bed, she's like, sorry, the contract.
Not in the contract.
It's not in the contract.
The deal.
But she eventually does fall for the guy. I don't know how.
I have no idea how. Yeah, obviously then she falls in love with him.
Yep.
And it becomes a mess. And then the woman who was pushed off the cliff in Death Valley in heels comes back and warns her
that he's a scumbag.
She literally writes her off and gets in the car with this guy.
Yeah, she actually pays that girl how much that guy stole from her.
Yeah.
It's like $20,000. Or according to the subtitles, like $2,000, which really isn't that much.
Well, there was a part when the English-speaking woman said 15,000, and the subtitle said 1,500.
Yeah, freaking subtitles.
Don't really know how much money it was.
What else do we need to discuss about this?
Would watch again.
I would definitely watch this again. What
was
with your
friends?
Yeah.
And drinks.
I had my drink. This is my...
Totally Coca-Cola.
This is my movie drink. I do sponsor Coke. I don't really, but it's my favorite drink. That and Pepsi. I like both.
I like wine.
You like wine?
Yeah.
So, how would you rate this movie? Is this a so bad it's good?
I would rank it. I would... Bizarre, I feel like. Because, I mean, I don't know if you've said it anytime on your channel, we're big fans of The Room. Which is...
I said I'm on the gaming channel, not on this channel, though.
Okay. Which, I mean, if you guys are into funny movies or really bad movies that are fun, The Room is definitely one of them. I would put this, like, on the shelf next to The Room just because of the subtitles. Just so great.
Yeah, there's actually a few similarities with The Room in this movie. There's a bad English.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Then, he said sup, Mr. Beck?
Sup, Mr. Beck?
Oh, and in The Room, they're trying to escape San Francisco to move to Los Angeles. In this movie, they're trying to escape Los Angeles to move to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do have to mention the name of the guy.
What guy?
Beck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because like when he's in the immigration office, or I forgot who it was, but they're asking for his English name.
Oh, yeah.
And he tells them Gregory Beck, or Gregory Peck. I don't know if you guys remember him, but I still remember him because I'm really old. But he was a very famous actor. He played MacArthur in a few movies. In a movie, he's a very famous actor. Look him up, Gregory Peck.
I'll look him up when I'm done.
But yeah, when he said his name, let's see, he listed a bunch of names and eventually said Gregory Peck. I actually got a nice little chuckle inside because that was a nice pop culture reference.
I think one of the great cultural references in that was when he stood up and sang the national anthem in front of the immigration police.
That was beautiful.
That was some real
That was really...
That's when she fell in love with him, remember? When he was singing that in the living room. And she looked at him like, I love this man.
A lot of girls...
Because he sang the national anthem.
Yeah, a lot of girls do go for a really good singer like that.
He wasn't good.
It was... So, any closing thoughts?
We should have another movie night with that.
Yeah, I think we should. We'll invite some friends.
We really should. It'd be so much fun.
All right, guys. So, that's the movie. Maybe next time we'll check out the book. See the differences between the book and the movie. Yeah, it's all in Korean. By the way, it's super hard finding this movie. Super hard.
The reflection of the TV. There we go. Yeah, you can see some pictures there.
Yeah, I had to go to some local market to get it. And I asked a lot of questions around. Otherwise, the only other way is to order online. And even online, everything's pretty much out of stock. So if you want to watch this movie, good luck. It's super hard to find, even online. That's it.
I think you should upload it to your YouTube channel.
I think I will. All right, guys.